They think they won. They walk away, pretending you were replaceable. But at night, when everything is silent, your absence becomes louder than their pride, and then it starts to hurt in a way they cannot explain, not because they miss a person, but because they lost something that made them feel whole, and their ego will never allow them to admit it. There are losses people never speak about, not because they don't matter, but because admitting them would mean admitting weakness. So instead, they smile, they distract themselves, they pretend they are fine, but silence always reveals what pride tries to hide. This is not just a story about love. This is a story about ego, about what happens when someone loses a person who saw them deeply, and they only realize it when it is already too late. You didn't just leave their life, you left their reflection, and now they don't recognize who they are without you. At first, they feel power. The ego always wins the first battle. It's better this way. They were not that important. I can do better. These are not truths. They are shields. Because the human mind cannot accept loss immediately, so it replaces pain with pride. But pride is fragile, and silence is patient. Days pass, then weeks, and something strange begins to happen. The world looks the same, but it feels empty in places they cannot describe. They scroll through memories they said they deleted. They replay conversations they said meant nothing. They hear your name in the quiet parts of their day. Not loudly, not clearly, but like a ghost that never left, and still, they won't admit it, because admitting it would mean saying, I lost something real. And ego does not survive honesty, so instead, they suffer quietly, in ways no one sees. They start remembering your presence in fragments, the way you listened when no one else did, the way you understood things they never had to explain, the way your silence wasn't empty. It was aware, and now everything else feels shallow, but still they resist it, because the strongest prison is not where you are trapped. It is where you refuse to accept you are trapped. And so begins the real war, not between you and them, but between truth and ego. There is a strange law in human nature. People do not recognize value in presence. They recognize it in absence. When something is with them, they assume it is normal. When it leaves, they realize it was never ordinary. But by then, it is already gone. This is where suffering begins, not in losing someone, but in realizing too late what they truly meant. There is a deeper truth hidden beneath this. Most people do not miss the person. They miss the version of themselves that existed with that person, because when you were there, they were seen, reflected, understood in a way that made them feel real. And when you left, that reflection disappeared, and now they are left alone with something they avoid looking at, themselves. And that is unbearable, so the mind protects itself. It builds stories. It didn't mean that much. They were not special. I'm better off. But these words, they are not truth. They are defense mechanisms, because the ego is not built to accept loss with humility. It is built to survive it with denial. And yet, truth does not disappear. It waits, quietly, patiently, like a shadow that grows longer as the light fades. There comes a moment when distraction stops working, when new people stop feeling new, when laughter feels forced, when nights become heavier than days. And suddenly, your absence is not a thought anymore. It becomes a presence. They feel you in random silence, in empty rooms, in pauses between music, in the space after a message that will never come. And they start doing something dangerous. They remember. Not the arguments, not the pride, but the moments. Small ones, quiet ones. The way you looked at them when they were not at their best. The way you stayed when it would have been easier to leave. The way you understood things they never had to explain. And now, no one else does that. But ego still speaks, still whispers, don't go back, don't admit it, stay strong. But what is strength? If it is built on denial, they start to feel something unfamiliar, not sadness, not anger, something deeper, something heavier, regret. But not the kind that is spoken, the kind that stays silent in the chest, the kind that wakes them up at night and refuses to leave. And still, they will never tell you because ego would rather suffer in silence than admit it was wrong. And slowly, something shifts. They begin to understand something terrifying. It was never about who was more right. It was never about who walked away first. It was about who mattered more in silence. And silence always tells the truth, because silence does not lie. It does not defend. It does not pretend. It simply shows what remains when everything else is gone. And what remains is you. There comes a point when denial becomes too heavy to carry, when pride no longer feels powerful, just exhausting. And in that moment, everything they tried to suppress rises, not as thoughts, but as truth. They realize something painful. You were not just a person they lost, you were a space in their life. That made everything feel lighter. And now, everything feels heavier without you. They remember how easy it felt to be understood, how natural it was to be seen, how rare it was to not have to pretend, and suddenly it hits them. No one else replaced that, no one else matched it, no one else brought that silence, that comfort, that depth. But the ego still fights, still whispers, don't go back, don't look weak, don't admit you need them. So they stay silent, even when their heart is loud, even when their thoughts keep returning to you, even when every night feels like a conversation with your absence. And this is the real tragedy, not losing you, but realizing your worth too late and choosing pride over peace. They start to understand something they cannot explain. It was never about who was stronger. It was never about who walked away first. It was about who they could not replace. And you? You are not replaced. You are remembered. In silence, in repetition, in regret that never finds words. They see you in everything that feels familiar. A place, a song, a random moment of stillness. And every reminder says the same thing. You had something real, but now it's out of reach. And the worst part, you are not coming back the same way because something in you changed too. Silence changed you, loss refined you, and now, even if they returned, they would not meet the same version of you. That realization is what breaks them the most, not your absence, but your transformation. And here is the truth. Most people never say out loud. People do not lose you all at once. They lose you in moments they did not value, in words they did not listen to, in silence they misunderstood. And when they finally realize it, you are already gone in spirit, even if your memory remains. But you are not the one who lost. You are the one who awakened. Because pain does something rare. It removes illusion. It strips ego. It reveals truth. And the truth is simple. Not everyone who leaves you stops thinking about you, but not everyone who thinks about you has the courage to come back. So you stop waiting, you stop explaining, you stop hoping, and you begin to understand that silence is not empty. It is powerful. It is final. It is freedom. And somewhere in that silence, you rise again. Not because they returned, but because you finally stopped needing them to. Be honest. Were you the one they lost or the one who walked away? Comment below.